Hey guys, Katie Taylor here with scrappinkaty.com, where I show you how to preserve your family's memories through the art of scrapbooking. Today's video will be taking a sketch from scrapbooking cards today, and I'll be using some die cuts as well as several pieces of patterned paper and showing you how to make all of that look cohesive. You can see here I have already pre-cut 1-inch strips from the mix-in collection from Close to My Heart. This has to be one of my favorite mix-ins that we have ever had. Unfortunately, it sold out. And then I've also pulled out some die cuts and sticker sheets from one of the starter packs that Close to My Heart has. So you can make this 2-page layout using this starter kit. And then I pulled out some photos. So you might notice that I have 2 square photos, one of me and my husband, and then the same square photos in 3x4 because I'm really not sure which one I want to use yet. I also have that pattern paper with the multicolored polka dots, as well as some photo placeholders and mats that I can use, again, from that starter kit. So I'm going to start by just layering these pieces of paper onto this piece of white daisy cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my Versa mat. So on the right side, I have that multicolored polka dot paper. And then I have my T-ruler that I am going to use to adhere and place these 1-inch strips down. Before I do that, because that polka dot paper is so light, and then these strips of paper also have some light colors in them, I am doing one of my favorite inking techniques, which is ink distressing. On this one, I am using a sponge and some sapphire ink just to kind of add a soft color around the edges of all those strips of patterned paper. Don't worry, I will do the majority of these off camera. I just wanted to show you what an impact that does. So like I said, I am going to use my T-ruler. Again, just place it at the 6-inch mark on my Versa mat, and then take one of those strips of paper and try to decide how far over to the right I want these strips of paper to go. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I'm going to pull out my photos and kind of see how much of those pattern papers I want to show over to the right. And I'm thinking that that will work. So I'm going to move it just a little bit over, and then to line these up, I am going to pay attention to the top of my Versa mat and where this strip of paper lands. I like that placement. So instead of trying to move the pattern paper and then replace it, I am just going to adhere the adhesive to my layout base instead. And so this sketch actually came from Scrapbooking Cards today, their spring submission request, and I loved it. So I am just kind of mimicking that sketch almost exactly as is. I did have a little bit of problems lining up the bottom strip with the top, but in the end, I think it's close enough. It's just for some reason, it was just weird in the meeting up. And I thought my T-ruler would really get that pretty close, and it did, just not exactly. So you saw there where I decided to just add the adhesive directly to my layout base. I knew that my strips were 1 inch wide, so I just went down the inch marks of my Versa mat and added that tape adhesive. So as far as the pattern paper pattern goes, I am using stripe, honey butter, toffee, and then that papaya. And then I'm just going to repeat the process. Again, just butting up those edges right under the strip above it. So this little piece right here, I am going to go ahead and before I finish these off, instead of using some of the full strips that I cut, I decided to turn my layout around or over and then just kind of cut off all that excess. And that will allow me to use just these little bitty scraps to finish off that last little triangle. So I'm going to get that cut off and then again, just kind of repeat that pattern over on the left. And then there is just a little sliver of a triangle. And believe it or not, and it might be that they weren't lined up exactly top and bottom, but it is a little bit larger than 1 inch. So I am trying to find just a little bit of that papaya pattern, and then I realized that that 1 inch one's not going to work. So I am just going to take a scratch piece of that papaya paper and just cut it a little bit larger than an inch. Go ahead and ink that up so it'll match all the other strips. Adhere it down and then cut off the excess. And believe it or not, it was the hardest part of this layout, especially since I'm using die cuts and stickers from that starter kit. So like I said, I printed 2 square photos and then 2 3x4. So they are exactly the same photos, but I really didn't know which ones I wanted to use. So I definitely decided I wanted the die cut over to the right, that scalloped piece, for my journaling. And in order to have enough journaling, I am going to have to use those 2 square photos instead. So I'm going to get this adhered down. Again, I have my T-ruler there, just making sure that my photo is straight. And then I am going to start playing with these 2 little square photos. My husband actually asked when I showed him this layout, how did I get our photos to match this paper perfectly? And that's actually something that I showed the members of the Creative Design Team membership group, how to sort and look through their photos if they have a specific paper collection in mind that they want to use. And we're open, so stay tuned later on in this video to find out how you can join before March 5th, 2023. Now, again, some of these flowers are stickers and some of them are die cuts. I do love these leaves that came from this sticker sheet. And much like what I usually try to do is add some 3D foam tape to the actual leaf portion and then use the bottom portion of the leaf more like the stem, and that gets adhered directly onto my layout. So I'm going to add those 3D foam circles. These tiny circles are perfect for leaves or florals, and then get those adhered down and then pull out my sticker sheet again. And then also adhere one down on the bottom right. Now, if you follow me on our Creative Design Team membership, I just taught a class and I kind of warned you about peeling the sticker directly from your sticker sheet because the oils on your fingers will get on that adhesive and it actually kind of takes the adhesive off. And nobody wants to open their album, in a couple of years and have pieces falling down. Or if you're a card maker, you don't want to send a card and have it falling down either. But in this instance, because I'm using 3D foam tape on the ends of those leaves, then it really doesn't matter if my oils get on the back of those stickers. So I'm just going to add some 3D foam tape to some more of these stickers and then get these tucked in. Here is where I peel off that other leaf pattern. And again, just get 3D foam circles added to the ends of those leaves. And then I'm going to tuck it in under that larger papaya flower. Like I mentioned earlier, our Creative Design Team membership group is open for a limited time. So you get unlimited access to video classes, you learn new techniques, we have weekly creative classes and tip videos. We are scrapbooking and card making, and you get all of this from 7 instructors with videos and handouts. So make sure you click the link below if you want to check that out and join us before March 5th. So I'm pretty much done with the floral pieces. I will come back in later on in this video and add some more of the orange and yellow, but I definitely want to get my title in place. So on this sticker sheet, there is the word smile. I have pulled out some wax paper. If you are a follower of mine, you've seen me do this many, many times. It is just a way to add a sticker that I know I'm actually going to use the adhesive and be able to manipulate it and move it around my layout to see where I want to put it before committing to actually adhering it to my layout. So I am liking that in the bottom left underneath our photo. And I think that that little pennant piece that I've adhered down is a perfect landing spot to anchor this title. So I'm going to, again, get this adhered down. Remember, because I had it on my wax paper, the adhesive is still intact. So it makes it really easy for me to peel it off with my tweezers and get that adhered down. The other part of the title is this little banner piece. I've added 3D foam tape, but I haven't taken the backing off yet because I'm not sure where I want to put it. Once I'm sure of that, then I'll take the backing off and go ahead and get that adhered down right over that title, Smile. So I'm going to get that adhered down and then take the dot to the eye and go ahead and get that added to that title. Now here is where I have this orange floral piece. Now this did come from the sticker sheet. I used my anti-static pouch to take the adhesive off just in case I wanted to add some 3D foam tape underneath it. I will not be doing that, so it's simple to just add adhesive back to it by using my liquid adhesive. So I'm going to tuck in just a little sliver. You saw me cut that. I'm going to tuck that in behind that larger flower up at the top and then go ahead and put some underneath this square photo. And now you can see I have a visual triangle with those orange florals. And then there are a couple of more leaves in this sage color on the sticker sheet that I'm going to peel off and go ahead and get those adhered down around those floral clusters as well. So one thing I love to do with my titles, especially if they're dark titles, is take my white gel pen and just kind of add doodling marks or highlight marks along that. I have blown this up quite a bit. I hope it doesn't distort the video that much, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then at the end of this video, make sure you stick around because you'll see a close-up of this title and you'll see just how wonderful that highlight mark makes that title. So here is one of the new Melon products. Melon is our color of the year with Close to My Heart. And there are these adorable resin flowers. Now I am going to shoot straight because that is always what I do here. That's why you don't see me using all of Close to My Heart's adhesive because there are better ones out there. Same thing with these. They are adorable. Don't get me wrong. Go ahead and add them to your cart. I'll leave them linked below, but just beware that they are super dimensional. And the adhesive that comes on them, I just feel like you need a backup plan for them, again, because they are super dimensional. At the end of this video, when I show some close-ups, you will see they've got, not only are they dimensional as in height-wise, but they actually have little indentions in the petals. And it just kind of makes it hard with the adhesive that it comes with. So you saw me add some liquid adhesive to those, and then I'm trying to pick up some of the glue dots to also make sure that those are really adhered down. Again, I don't want to spend all this time on this memory, and it's in my scrapbook, only to open that album years later and it be falling off the page. One thing I can be sure to tell you is my love of our dots. They come in all sorts of colors. You have dark, medium, and light. This is the blue. You also have large, medium, and small circles, hearts, and stars. So I am using that darker color, which mimics sapphire. And I am just trying to create the visual triangle, which I already did. But now I feel that those little square photos need some up above them. And then the square photos need some down below. And then a larger one up near that large flower. So here are the close-ups of this layout. Again, I will leave links down below to that white gel pen. See just what a difference that makes. As well as those melon flowers. I hope you can see the dimension as well as the intricate details to those florals. And then I'll also leave links down below to check out our Creative Design Team membership group. Now remember, if you liked what you saw here, please like, comment, and share with your friends. It helps my little channel out. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks and have a great week.